Hi everybody, welcome to Central Contact for the last day in June 2020, 30th of June 2020. And I wonder if during these very strange and long 3 months, you have, in this sort of shake-up, been made aware of things in your character that perhaps you weren't aware of before, as you've had to deal with new situations and new difficulties. You've noticed that you haven't been as patient, resilient, loving, compassionate as you thought you might have been otherwise. And I wonder if you've noticed anything in that regard. Well, of course, this is normal. And actually, it's also the way God works. He shakes things up. He shows us how we're not like him, and he gets to work on it if we allow him to by his Spirit. And isn't it wonderful? The passage we had last Sunday includes this. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 24. Put on the new self, created to be like God. It's remarkable, isn't it? Put on the new self, created to be like God. And God has revealed himself to us. He's shown what he's like in Jesus. He is the great God, full of compassion, slow to anger, rich in love, abounding in loving faithfulness, powerful, mighty to save, concerned, caring for his world, for each one that he's made. And we're to grow to be like him in his servant-hearted love. And throughout Ephesians, there are many little themes, but one wonderful theme is the theme of fullness. And right at the end of chapter 1, we learn that he is completely full. If you want to know what it is to be full of goodness, everything good, it is God. He's the fullness of everything. And then we're told later on in chapter 3, Paul prays that we may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. Paul's praying that God completes his work in us to make us like Christ. And he says it again in chapter 4. He says, we're working together till we all reach unity in the faith, in the knowledge of the Son of God, and become mature, attaining to the fullness of Christ. He has done everything so that we can have the status of Christ before our Heavenly Father, adopted, beloved children of God. And he's now at work in us by his Spirit, giving us that fullness. So if there's something that has been exposed in your life, some area of deficiency, some way you think, I haven't got that, I'm empty in that regard, know that God is working in you fullness so that you will one day be like Christ in his glorious character. What a day that will be in his new creation, the character of Christ, where there's no sin or suffering, no need to make allowances for those things at all, because they'll all be gone, and there'll be no sin. There will be goodness, love, the glory of God. May you be encouraged today that he's at work in you, making you like him.